William Amadeo, P76194 on behalf of Mr. Jones. Rob, please say your name for Judge Simpson and staff and Prosecutor Baroffa know it is you.
Robert Jones. Thank you.
So I'm going to continue with our motion, which was on Thursday. Thank you for granting us this time today. As I stated, well, he's been in jail 6 days now. He is a good father. He does have retained counsel. I'm going to argue he's not a threat to the community, even by the people's own response. There was no physical abuse. While I understand some things were developed in our last hearing, I do think Mr. Jones, giving him GPS tether and house arrest to just allow him to support his daughter and go to work in medical conditions would be a positive thing for him. He'd be able to provide for his children. That's all I'm asking today, Judge.
From the people.
Right out of the this courtroom is a pressure cooker. 6 days in jail, a father fighting for his freedom, and a judge who clearly isn't convinced. The defense says he's not a threat. The prosecution says the risk is still very real. GPS tethers, exclusion zones, and credibility all collide here, and one wrong move could send this case spiraling fast. The real question is simple but dangerous. Can a court trust him?
Your Honor, we would just rely on our response. The only thing I would like to add is that I am not exactly sure how Mr. Jones plans on working or providing for his family as he does delivery services, which, unless I was wrong, I believe that there was a request for home confinement in this case. If that was not the case, I apologize, but
there was home confinement with the ability to go to work, just not to go out.
And so I'm not sure how that would work because he's doing delivery to home addresses. And that makes me concerned, especially if they're in the Saline area, which appears to be the case because he would be delivering from which has also been an issue we've previously discussed.
And Your Honor, if I could just briefly reply, he's not going to be working at Saline Walmart. He would actually agree never to work at the Saline Walmart again. He did just get a new apartment. As I stated before, he's trying to support his daughter. That is my whole agenda here. He has been in jail 6 days. I basically want to help this man support his child. That's my whole agenda here, Judge. He's not going to be in Saline. He's not going to be near the victims. He's not going to disrespect this court or your victims. I just want to give him an opportunity. I ask you to give him an opportunity to support his family. That's my whole agenda here, Judge. The reason why I'm asking for GPS tether and house arrest to only work is to show that I know how serious this is. I'm not sitting here asking for a PR bond, Judge. I'm asking for this man to be able to maintain his job. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm pleading for.
Is that the Liberty Street? Is that the apartment that you just got? That's the apartment I'm at, Your Honor, and I'm moving to Stone Grove apartment.
To where?
Stone Grove Apartments.
What city is that?
It's in Ann Arbor.
To Ann Arbor. Okay.
So off Stone School. It used to be Pheasant Run. They changed the name to Stone Grove Apartments. Stone School and elsewhere. Or close to it. So. My daughter was going to Patty Gale.
Where's she going?
She was going to Patty Gale. I was going to Patty, so I was in there. I wanted to be closer in the area to where she got to.
The new apartment is closer to his daughter's school. She did switch schools, and that's one of the reasons for the new apartment, Judge, which is not in Saline.
Well, how long have you been on Liberty? 4 years, Your Honor. Pardon? 1 year. And where were you before that? I was in Pittsfield Village. Pittsfield's village is condos. Doing neighborhood by the Pittsfield. In your own unit? Yeah, yes, Your Honor. It was a condo. I was renting. Pardon? I was renting a condo in the Pittsfield Village neighborhood, near the Pittsfield Elementary on Norwood.
Well, if I put him on a GPS, Mr. Amadeo, how's he gonna move? Because that wouldn't, I mean, it seems to me that with the type of work that he's having, you're asking me to give him a GPS really without any restrictions.
Well, I would ask the restrictions being the Saline area. That is where the victims live, I believe, and he can speak to his employer where he could not do any deliveries or go near the Saline properties whatsoever.
This
This
moment
is-
exposes the legal tightrope the court is walking. On one side, the defendant's right to work and support his child. On the other, the court's duty to protect alleged victims from even the appearance of risk. GPS tethers aren't just ankle monitors, they're enforceable maps. Every street, every boundary matters. One wrong location ping, and freedom disappears instantly. What makes this especially complicated is the nature of his job. Delivery work puts him in unpredictable locations. So the judge isn't just asking, can he work? The judge is asking, can I trust him to follow rules when no one's
the
watching?
rules?
Jones, anything you want to tell the court?
I will continue before this before the incarceration. I was following all of the court's orders to stay away and no contact and honor the court's orders. And I did that the entire time, and I continue to do the same thing. I apologize to the court for my behavior for being here in this courtroom for the case I had. That's my responsibility. I accept that. But my 25 years, over 20 years, I haven't been involved in any issue with the court, and I plan on getting back to, the right thing and take care of my daughter and doing the right thing and honoring the court.
Well, here's part of the problem. I mean, as I understand it, the victim's home is approximately probably less than a mile or about a mile from Walmart. But his contract work, at least according to this, is with Walmart and Sam's Club.
So,
You could explain it to the judge.
Your Honor, the way the one job works is you have to change your zone. And so you can't work at any Walmart, Sam's Club, let's change your zone. If my zone was to that area, but I can change my zone to any area, to another Sam's Club location, which is actually in Ford Road in Canton, and Walmart out that way. I will not be anywhere near that Sam's Club or Walmart because my zone will change. It will have to change.
Just for clarity, Rob, you could change your zone and still maintain your job and support your daughter, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will not be anywhere in Saline at all whatsoever.
Now, I also understood that one of the victims, I thought, did the same type of work.
At that location, but I will not be at that location.
Actually, we happen to be on. Ma'am, is that correct that in terms of zone? I don't know who. Miss Mills.
Hello?
Is that correct in terms of the zone and?
It is. It is, and I only work in the Saline area. But I know he has showed up to the Walmart several times, even when he had the no contact order.
No,
Okay, go ahead. What were you gonna say? He's showed up there.
Yeah,
What
well,
was
even
it?
when he had the no contact order and he didn't leave, he still stayed around. He kind of hung around closer.
Yeah,
He hung around where we were.
he came right to the register right next to us like twice.
No contact.
And Your Honor, just to be clear, while he was there, he was working at that time. He wasn't just hanging out in the area. He was only there for work.
Right. But I get that, but that's not,
If he changes his zone, there'll be no excuse or any justification to be near.
well, there wasn't any reason for any excuse before now.
I understand that, Your Honor, but I am trying to fix what went wrong here. I do think if he's able to support his daughter and stay away from the victims, it does accomplish both those things.
I mean, but Mr. Amadeo, and I get what you're saying, but you're asking me to trust him to do that. He just got here, told me that he hasn't violated that order, and I'm sitting here listening to the victims saying that he has.
I'm saying
And then
he violated-
I still haven't resolved the whole Instagram issue. Regarding that message that got sent.
what I think he's saying, Your Honor, is he didn't violate bond. He was just working.
Well, but that's
Well,
not true.
oh.
That's what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is he was not to have contact with them. He wasn't supposed to be in their vicinity.
Your Honor, the magistrate told me in the arraignment that I was allowed to still work at Walmart and Sam's Club, but do not speak or say or anything if I was to come past them. That wasn't the magistrate said that in the arraignment. That was discussed in the arraignment of the original bond. If I was told that I was not to be in the entire.
Let me ask you this. If you see Ms. Mills there, why wouldn't you just go to the furthest register I could possibly find?
So when I was the times they saw me, I was already at the register. They came to the register that was Walmart sets it up where they have certain registers open, and I was at my register doing what I do, bagging, scanning. I had nothing, I was taking care of what I need to take care of for the order I was doing. There was nothing other than just my presence being there doing a job. And that's what I explained to the magistrate was okay with it.
Mr. Jones, it's hard for me to believe you.
It's the truth, Your Honor.
And Judge, well, I know he has very little credibility. The only goal here is to not be near the victims, not harass them, and still allow him to support his.
That's my problem, Mr. Amadeo. I don't know what I can trust with him.
I understand.
He was
that.
on conditions, yeah, he could work, but I don't want a circumstance where all of a sudden I get some other excuse. And like I said, there's still this whole Instagram.
I think
what I see an individual that is given rules, but then decides that he wants to skirt right around the edge of those rules.
I think it's pretty clear at this juncture, Your Honor, that if he were to be before you on a violation, he's very clear he would get the maximum sentence. And that's been explained in no implicit terms when I took over the case.
Well, right. I get that, Mr. Amadeo. It's not you that I have an issue with. It's your client I have an issue with. I mean, I have an issue with, and I realize, Mr. Amadeo, you weren't here, but with his whole justification as to why he did what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting there listening to him testify, and I don't believe it, and obviously the jury did not. And then just I think vile is too kind a word. I mean, in terms of what was actually not coming out of his mouth, but being tight to these ladies. And then sitting up here while all that's going on and watching him just, I mean, the way that he was looking at him while they're testifying. I mean, it was. I mean, everybody tells me that he's not violent or anything. I'm gonna tell you right now, the way he was looking at him that day, I wouldn't have bet anything. I wouldn't have bet a single penny I have that he would not have come after them.
This is where the
Now-
case turns. The judge isn't focused on technical violations anymore. He's focused on credibility. And credibility, once lost, is almost impossible to rebuild in court. Listen carefully. The judge doesn't say, "I'm unsure." He says, "I don't believe you." That's devastating. The court is weighing testimony, body language, prior conduct, and perceived intent, not just facts on paper. When a judge openly questions whether someone might act violently, even without a prior charge, it signals serious concern. At this point, every promise from the defendant sounds rehearsed instead of reassuring. And that raises a critical question. Should a court ever gamble on trust when the consequences could be
It's
irreversible?
facts.
Your Honor, I've never had any violence with my ex. I'm not like that. I don't hit women.
Which ex?
The Miss Mills. I've never had any violence. Never, nothing, not one bit. You can ask her. I've never. That's something I would never have done. I've never done it with anybody. Not with females. So I will follow I will not be anywhere in Saline. That's a promise. I'll work and I will follow everything that this court orders me to do to the letter. I understand that you don't like my credibility and stuff like that. I got that.
It is not an issue about liking your credibility. I just don't think you have any.
I asked the court if you could give me the opportunity to earn your credibility back for my own safety of my daughter and me and her mental health and me being there for her, stuff like that. I beg of you to give me that opportunity to earn the credibility of you. I beg it up. I would not break it. I would not be in Saline. I would not. They will never see me again.
Ms. Mills, is it typical for you that you're mainly in the Saline area? Saline and what would be, I guess, Western Pittsfield?
I would say Saline and Ann Arbor, because I do the deliveries as well. I do Uber and Lyft, and I mainly work in Ann Arbor and Saline. Those are the only two places I work. A little bit Ipsy.
Okay, I want to make sure I'm clear. When you're saying Ann Arbor, I mean, you might be in Pittsfield Township.
I live in Pittsfield, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You live in Pittsfield, and some people may consider that Saline or Ann Arbor, but
Okay.
that's what I'm getting at. It's
Okay,
really
gotcha.
that area
Yes.
that you're in. And
Yeah,
you're
well,
in,
pretty much all of downtown Ann Arbor as well. Because I do ride share as well as delivery services.
so Ann Arbor, Pittsfield, Saline.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll be in Canton because I'll be in Canton.
He will be working in Canton, and there's no reason for him to be in any of those areas for work.
Yeah, but he's moving. Because right now, at the Liberty address, 1910 West. Is that city of Ann Arbor? You're 48103. You're outside the city.
It's in Liberty by Liberty and Stadium.
By what?
By Liberty and Stadium.
Yeah. You're to the edge, but
And then the other one is
and then the other one's Ellsworth Road, which is
Stone School. It's off Stone School.
Stone School, Ellsworth, right?
No.
I know where it is. And so that's on the edge of Pittsfield.
And I won't be working there. I'll be working in Canton.
Maybe
And he'll be
you
under
don't-
house
Maybe you
arrest.
don't get this. What I'm worried about is you being there. Because I don't trust you. I just don't.
I want to earn your trust.
I don't, how you earn the trust? You know what, Mr. Jones? Just do the right thing.
Yes,
That's all I'm asking you. Just do the right thing by everybody.
yes, Your Honor.
Because I can tell you, as I listened to that trial, you did not do the right thing by Miss Mills at all. At all.
I would like a chance to do the right thing.
What?
I would like a chance to
May I say something, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
Where he's moving is actually quite a bit closer to where I live as well.
Oh, I know.
Thank
I
you.
know.
Thank you.
No, I know. I know exactly where you guys are, and I know exactly where he's moving to. And it's
my daughter stays same apartment complex with her mother, and so are my stepkids. So it's mainly for them. That's
for what?
mainly for them because that way
Mr. Jones, I know. The issue is keeping you away from people you shouldn't be around and making sure that you don't do something
I won't.
that I think that you're capable of. Mr. Jones, you can sit here. I listened to your testimony. You can sit here to me and tell me I won't. The problem is, if you go back over your testimony, I don't think you'd believe it.
I believe myself. I know I won't, so Your Honor.
Well, let me just add this, Judge, and one of the always taught me was when know when to shut up. So I'm going to know when to shut up and just say, if he's on Tether, what's that?
Go ahead. Never mind. Go ahead.
If he's on Tether, if he's on house arrest and he's going to work in Canton, and there's a no contact with Miss Mills, and he so much as breathed crooked on her, he knows he'd be looking at 180 days. The whole agenda here, he screwed up. We get that.
Oh,
I get it.
yeah, he did.
I
Big
get
time.
it. I understand.
And I got 3 women that can tell him that.
Understood. But the fourth young woman is who I'm here for. That's why I'm involved in this case. That's his daughter.
Oh, thank you for pointing that out. I didn't know there was another. Can I get a map, please? And we're gonna have to draw boundaries. You can take him back, and court's gonna stand in recess. All right. Court does call the case, recall the case of People versus Robert Jones.
Prosecuting attorney Morgan Burroughs on behalf of people.
Your Honor, William Amadeo, P76194, on behalf of Mr. Jones. Rob, please state your name for Judge Simpson, his staff, and Prosecutor Burroughs. Know it is you.
Robert Jones.
Okay, on the matter, any additional argument from either side?
None from the people, Your Honor.
None from defense, Judge.
What I have decided to do is, having heard everything, is I'm going to give you a bond. That bond's going to be set. The monetary portion of the bond will be $500. I'll give a 10% privilege on that. And then, but defendant cannot be released prior to being placed on a GPS tether. It is an exclusion zone tether, and I'll just make it real clear to you. You are not to enter Pittsfield Township, City of Ann Arbor, or the City of Saline. However, since you indicate that you will be working in Canton, the exclusion to that zone, so the exclusion to the exclusion zone is that defendant may travel on Stone School Road in the City of Ann Arbor and Ellsworth Road from Stone School Road to Michigan Avenue, only within the exclusion zone. Understand that?
And all that.
So I'm not. I live in Ann Arbor, so you don't want me to be in Ann Arbor?
To get to work, you have to
Oh.
file.
And
And
here's the
here's the
resolution. The judge grants bond. But make no mistake, this is freedom on a razor's edge. A $500 bond, a GPS exclusion tether, and strict no-go zones covering entire cities. Every road exception is spelled out, every movement tracked. This ruling sends a clear message. The court is willing to allow opportunity, but only under absolute control. Any violation, intentional or accidental, will end this immediately. This case perfectly illustrates how modern courts balance accountability, public safety, and a defendant's livelihood. It's not mercy, it's conditional trust. Now, we want to hear from you. Was this the right call? Or should the judge have denied bond entirely? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.
Not from the people, Your Honor.
None from defense, Judge.
What I have decided to do is, having heard everything, is I'm going to give you a bond. That bond's going to be set. The monetary portion of the bond will be $500. I'll give a 10% privilege on that. And then, but defendant cannot be released prior to being placed on a GPS tether. It is an exclusion zone tether, and I'll just make it real clear to you. You are not to enter Pittsfield Township, City of Ann Arbor, or the City of Saline. However, since you indicate that you will be working in Canton, the exclusion to that zone, so the exclusion to the exclusion zone is that defendant may travel on Stone School Road in the City of Ann Arbor and Ellsworth Road from Stone School Road to Michigan Avenue, only within the exclusion zone. Understand that?
Handle that.
So I live in Ann Arbor, so you don't want me to be in Ann Arbor?
To get to work. You have to
Oh.
file.
And here's the resolution moment. The judge sets bond and outlines the exclusion zones with crystal clear specificity. GPS tether, restricted roads, and work exceptions. It's like a real-life strategy map. This part highlights a critical lesson. The court's role isn't just punitive. It's about structuring freedom in a controlled, enforceable way. For viewers, it's a peek into how justice balances accountability with opportunity.
Oh, what he's instructing you to do.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I think there's one other road we're going to have to add to this, and that's Pheasant Run, because that's the place you're moving into. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So we've already done the preliminary part of the order, but I'll add Pheasant Run to that so that he can go into the complex. All right. Anything else?
Oh, thank you, Judge.
All right.
Have a good day.